Hey, Owen, it's great to finally meet you, man.
Yeah, you too. How are you?
You go good, man. Thanks for taking the time to talk today. You've had such an incredible run recently, and I really enjoyed Griffin and Summer, especially it's like an intimate storytelling that that you really did help bring to life. There's a lot of many characters in this, but you really play a pivotal role, and I really enjoyed your role in it.
Thank you. It was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it, obviously.
No, I could see that. It blends humor and heart, young ambition. That's what I really loved about it in such a unique way. Wanted to ask you, what do you think makes this film stand apart from the other projects you've been a part of?
Man, it's so completely different. I mean, it's one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time. And it's a really I think it's a really beautiful film at the core, and I really hope that a lot of people see it and feel recognized by it. A lot of the movies I've been in have been a little disturbing and a little scary, and I love that. But this one's like this one has a really sweet soul. And also, like, Brad, the character that I play is so different from anything I've ever gotten to do, and I'm really grateful to Nicholas, our director, for letting me do it. Because I'm not sure that I would have been the obvious choice.
Yeah, this movie
But
does have, a lot of fun with kids trying to
yeah,
act like adults in serious drama.
yeah,
Did that spark any memories of your own, early
oh yeah,
performances where you might feel a little too serious for your age?
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing theater since I was like 7 professionally. I did like community theater when I was like 4, but no, I've been working professionally as an actor for almost 20 years. And so there was a lot of me as a kid, like as a, 13, 14-year-old, basically not playing adult roles, but living the life of somebody who was in some ways an adult, going to work and having a job and like being a professional actor, and then at the same time going to high school. So you get this kind of like weird double life thing. Which of course all those kids now, especially Everett, are going through the same thing. So it was like looking, back in time at myself in a weird way.
Really liked his character. Obviously, Griffin is pivotal in this as his movie, but
Yeah.
your character Brad becomes a surprising mentor figure at the same time. Who has
Yeah.
been, kind of that type of presence in your own life? Someone that impacted the way you look at acting or creativity?
Yeah, well, I hope nobody's been a Brad for me, because Brad is probably the worst person you could ask for as a mentor. But in terms of like actual mentor, a lot of the Bloodline cast was really, really influential on how I work and how I sort of view things. Ben Mendelsohn, Sissy Spacek, Kyle Chandler, like those three in particular, and Andrea Riseborough. Um, and some of our directors, like, Andrea and I ended up doing To Leslie a few years after that. So eh, yeah, like a lot of those guys really have shaped how I work.
I know Brad's not technically the best mentor, but he does help quite a bit. I feel like in the creativity process for Griffin in that capacity
Yeah, he
and
definitely
spark something.
unlocks
Yeah.
some honesty and some truth that I don't think Griffin would have found otherwise, for better or for worse.
No, and the plot in this movie is fantastic. It's hilarious. It's heartwarming.
Yeah.
I just loved every aspect of it. And going back, looking back at your childhood, how did your passion for acting first begin? Were there specific performances, films, personal experiences
Yeah,
that inspired you?
there was it was first, it was like when I was really little, it was Beauty and the Beast was sort of fascinating, and then Andy Serkis as King Kong was the thing that really made me want to do it. Because it was like I was always kind of fascinated by these really non-human kind of creature characters and the Hulk. You know, I remember Ang Lee's Hulk being a big one as well. But seeing Circus play King Kong and like realizing that he was a guy in there was like mind blowing. So that was the inception of, you know, me wanting to do it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and you kind of brought this up a little bit, but like you ended up being in Kingdom of Planet of the Apes,
Yeah.
and you know, very similar path of very cool
Yeah.
experience and something different. What's something you did take away from that unique filming experience that you carried forward in other projects?
Well, I think that, you know, showed me really how connected like the body and the mind of characters are. You can't have one without the other. So doing something as physical as an ape in Kingdom, it's no different than doing a character like Brad, you know, who is a human. But it was the same kind of physical approach. And with Brad, I remember I was sort of preparing to go do Griffin and I was starting to think about like how to play Brad, and I was making a movie with Matthew McConaughey, and I saw the way that McConaughey walks and stands, which is like it's very he's like I'm here, like you will feel my presence. And I was like, that's Brad, like hips forward, you know, just like this kind of everything is a little bit cocked. And so it started there. It started with this very physical approach to figuring out who this guy was, and then which is, you know, no different from what you do for animal work.
Lastly, I do want to bring up, so you kind of led me this way. I think one of the funniest and most revealing moments is, you know, when Brad's diving into that over the top play rehearsal with the kids, and the kids are kind of shocked. Is
Yeah.
that something you kind of took from maybe McConaughey? How is that sequence actually written on script, and what was it like to perform? Like, what did it look like on paper, and then how it delivered? Because that was a great scene.
It looked basically like that on paper. That I mean, the I think the only thing that I really added was the accent. But that wasn't McConaughey, that was Brando. That was like watching like on the waterfront and stuff. And you know, because that was a lot of Brad prep too, was just going through like old Brando movies and seeing him. But yeah, the chair throw and everything was in the script. That was one of the first days of me on set. I think it was day two, and there'd only been like one little scene before that. So that was kind of everybody's introduction to Brad. And I remember like our producer had to leave the room because she couldn't stop cracking up, and like it was making the kids break. And then like, you know, it was hilarious. And that was like easily one of my favorite days on set of my life.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great scene. Griffin and Summer is a great movie as well. Brad's great.
Yeah.
Everyone's great in this.
Yeah.
Owen, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us today. And
Thank
I wish
you.
you continued success in everything ahead, man. You're knocking it out. It's awesome.
Thank you very much. Nice talking with you.